Hi guys, you're welcome to my channel. So this is the first physical lecture, So we are going to be handling topic 4, auditing internal controls. We are going to be looking at the transaction systems. So it's the first time, so in case anything goes wrong, please forgive me. We shall keep improving. So we are going to look at the transaction systems. So the transaction systems. So this is one of the sensitive parts in auditing. If you understand this, you'll be good. So transaction systems. A transaction system, first of all, we shall start by defining it. It is a specific control that is used in processing business transactions. A specific control that is used in processing business transactions. And that is what we call a transaction system. It is used in processing business transactions, and big entities have 6 transactions. So they have 6 transactions. Whereby we have sales, purchases, inventory, payroll, bank and cash, revenue, and capital expenditure. These are the 6 transactions that we are going to be looking at. We have sales, purchases, inventory, payroll, bank and cash, then revenue and capital expenditure. These are the transactions that we are going to be looking at. We shall handle one by one, and we are going to start with sales, go to purchases, inventory and all that. So in this video we are going to handle sales. The sales transactions or the sales system. So let me wrap this. So for the sales system, we all know selling, like when you're selling something, you exchange goods for money. So for the sales system, we are going to look at the key activities that take place in the sales system. Then we shall look at the key documents. Then we shall proceed. So we shall start with the key activities. So the first activity is sales itself. Like in the sales system, there is selling. They have to sell goods for money. Then is cash receipts. Like there is receiving money. When you sell, you receive money. There is receiving money, and then you make receipts for customers. There is sales returns, trade discounts, commission. bad debts. So those are the key activities in the sales system. There is sales, like you make sales to customers, then cash receipt, when you receive cash from customers, you make receipts for them. Then sales returns. There are very many reasons as to why customers may return goods. First of all, like if you didn't give them maybe the goods that they ordered, you delivered a wrong order, or when the goods are damaged, stuff like that, or when they're expired, stuff like that. So we have sales returns, we have trade discounts. They are mainly offered to attract customers. Yeah. Then the sales commission. Sales commission is given to people who sell, the sales representatives. Then provision for doubtful debts and bad debts. This happens in case of credit sales, because when sales are sold on credit, there is a chance that customers will either pay or they will not pay. So if there is a chance that customers will not pay, that's when we make the provision for doubtful debts. You doubt those debts. Yeah, the higher chances that those customers will not pay back. Then provision for bad debts, when you're sure that they are not going to pay back. Yeah. So those are the key activities. You should like note them, because they will help you when you're answering these questions of test of controls, substantive procedures. If you know the activities that take place, the main activities in the sales system, you'll be able to answer questions on sales. Then we are going to look at the key documents. Should I read them here? I forgot to divide this. Oh, can you see that? Since it's the first lecture, don't worry, we are going to be getting more markers and good quality markers. Yeah, we are still testing the system. So let's look at the key documents in the sales system. Key documents, first of all, we have the goods delivered notes. Goods delivered notes, GDNs, that show that goods have been delivered to customers. Then we have the sales invoices. Sales invoices are sent to those customers like who bought on credit, or they are sent to customers to remind them that they are supposed to pay for the goods. That's the sales invoice. Then we have the sales orders. Sales orders, like you receive an order from customers. Then we have the sales receipts. Yeah, sales receipts, like you give it to customers after them paying for the sales. Then another key document we have, we can have the sales ledger. This records the sales. Accounts receivables ledger. That is for credit sales. Then general ledger. Have trade balance. So there are very many documents that are used in the sales system, but for the start, let's use these ones. And these ones are like the key. The goods delivered notes, sales invoices, sales orders, sales receipts, sales ledgers, accounts receivable, general ledger, then trade balance. They will help you when you're answering questions about cells. We are going to see how they help us. So let's look at the assertions. Assertions for cells, then the objectives of that particular assertion, then key controls and test of controls. We looked at assertion, the definition in the previous videos, and then the examples of assertions. So where we have the things of occurrence, completeness, presentation, stuff like that. So these are the things we are going to look at. Each assertion and its objective, key controls, and then test of controls. You should note one thing is that key controls are by management. This is by management, and those charged with governance. Then for the test of controls are by the auditor. Man, these markers of main by the auditor. I'll get high quality markers tomorrow. Yeah, you'll excuse me for today. So key controls are by management. Test of controls are by the auditor. The auditor will try to test these controls that were put in place by management. Yeah, so we are going to start with the assertion of occurrence. Markers. So occurrence. So for occurrence, you're making sure that something real occurred, like it took place. So here, like they are supposed to make sure that all the cells that are recorded in the sales ledger, in the general ledger, real took place. Then that all the receivables that were recorded real exist. That's what we call occurrence. So it's what we are going to deal with. So the key controls will be showing like how management can make sure of this. Like how do they make sure that they achieve this assertion of occurrence? How do they make sure that only those that occurred were recorded? Yeah, only those that exist were recorded. So those are the key controls that we are going to be looking at. So the first thing can be segregation of duties. Segregation of duties. So here you separate duties, because if you combine duties, someone can easily record cells that didn't exist or cells that or they can refuse to record cells that existed. So you segregate duties whereby someone that makes the cells is different from someone that records the cells in the books, then is different from someone that receives cash, then is also different from someone that approves maybe credit cells. So you segregate duties to make sure that you achieve this. You make sure that you achieve the objective of only the cells that occurred were recorded, or only the receivables that exist were recorded. You segregate duties. So this control is common. It is a common control in case you reach somewhere and you're confused. Of duties is a common control. It is a common control. At the end of the day, I'll be giving you the common controls. So what's the test of controls for this? Like what is the auditor supposed to do to see if there is segregation of duties, to see if segregation of duties is working properly? That's what we call test of controls. They are testing this to see if it's effective or not. So here the auditor is just supposed to observe. So observe to see if there is proper segregation of duties. So that is the only test of control for segregation of duties. You're just supposed to see if activities are done by different people. If someone that records sales is different from someone that receives cash, is different from someone that approves credit sales. You're just supposed to look at the way things are done in the organization, and then you'll be able to see if there is segregation of duties or not, or if it's working properly or not. Yes, so that is occurrence, the occurrence assertion. Like when the objective here is to make sure that only the credit sales that existed were recorded, to avoid the risk of recording fictitious sales that didn't take place. So remember, for sales we have cash sales and then credit sales. So this segregation of duties, like it works, it can work for both, okay? But so for credit sales, the objective is to make sure that only credit sales that exist were recorded. You get, only credit sales that took place were recorded. So which control can be put in place here? So here are recorded only if there is an approved goods delivered notes. So to make sure that only the credit sales that took place were recorded, one of the controls that can be put in place is that sales are recorded only if there is an approved goods delivered notes. Like the goods delivered note shows that goods were actually delivered to customers. So what's the test of, can the auditors do to confirm if it's real functioning like the way it's supposed to function? Here, the auditor is supposed to select a sample of sales that were recorded in the financial statements and then match it with supporting documents. That's how the auditor can get evidence that this control is actually working. Select a sample of sales and then match it with supporting documents. Supporting documents are the other ones that we looked at. We have the sales invoices, the sales ledger, the goods delivered notes, stuff like that. So the auditor can select a sample of sales from it can be from the sales journal, from the journal. So that's where the key documents come in. The key documents I told you about, like the sales journal, the sales invoices, the journal. So the auditor will select a sample from maybe the sales journal, and match it with supporting documents. So it can be for any transaction. For example, if they want maybe to confirm the occurrence of purchases, so here you just change. You'll be like, select a sample of purchases from the purchases journal and match with supporting documents like the goods received notes, the purchases invoices, stuff like that. So this is how can I say it? It's something like journal. You just change sales, where there is sales you put purchases. Yeah, for transactions. Yeah, then that is for occurrence. We are done with occurrence assertion, so we are going to the next assertion.